Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Eric here, guys, with the TRD squad. I know it's been a while. I've been super busy in life. Haven't had time to make any type of videos. But I'm going to try to get back at it and try to make some time up for it. But anyways, today I'm going to be showcasing you guys what I'm playing in Master Duel right now. It's a new format, just got released. You've probably heard about it. It's super fun to play with. It's really, really cool because for the most part, it's free. If you want to spend money, you can, but you don't have to. You can easily get booster packs on the game. You can use your cards that you have to generate other cards you might need to build decks. So for the most part, it's pretty much free. Now, after you get most of the free stuff with your solo missions, it is kind of hard to get gems. That's one of the drawbacks to it. So maybe, Konami might fix that. Other than that, cool format to play on. Different ban list from the TCG, so you have access to more cards. So you do see a little bit different decks out there. Some cards that, maybe you want to see banned on the LCG, like Skill Drain, even though now we got into TCG as well. You do have access to like Max C, that's a pretty cool card. But anyways, guys, so I've been playing this Master Duel. I've been playing Master Duel for about a week already. I decided not to jump on board with the meta train. I wanted to just do my own thing, so I built one of my favorite decks, Ancient Warriors, with the small tri-brigade engine. I've had a lot of success, got to Platinum without an issue. But I will tell you guys, once you're in Platinum, we're seeing a lot of like Outlich with Skill Drain, True Draco with Skill Drain. So I am having like difficulties with back row decks. But I've changed my deck up a little bit to help me out with that. Other than that, though, still a really cool fun deck to play with. So I'm gonna start off today by showing you guys a replay here, just to showcase to you guys that Ancient Warriors can still break boards, can still OTK your opponent. And and then after the video, we're going to get into the deck profile. So let's go ahead and start off with this video here. So this is going second Ancient Warriors against tri-brigade Lyrilisk. Just to warn you guys, I'm not too familiar with the Lyrilisk cards. I know exactly what they can do. I know what the deck can do. I'm just not familiar with the names though. Our opponent's going to start off with Bird Call and then Bird Call at Turquoise, and he's going to special summon out Bird Call. Now there are some different cards available in the LCGs that aren't available in the TCG, so we're going to see like a different combo than what we normally see in the TCG. So our opponent's going to bring out Nerval with the Turquoise effect, and he's going to link off immediately for Blossom. Then our opponent will activate Nerval effect in Graveyard, allow him to add Karis to hand. Then activate Blossom effect to special summon out a Beast or Winged Beast or Beast Warrior monster from hand. Then go and special summon out Nerval and then activate Karis effect to send Kit to Graveyard to bring out Karis from hand. And then we're going to see a Kit effect here, and our opponent will send the spell card. If you're not too familiar with the spell card, so I don't know if it's played a lot in the TCG format, but I'm just going to read the card off to you so you guys know what it does. So it's tri-brigade Rendezvous. What it does is that target any number of any Link Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters you control, they gain 700 attack to the end of the turn. If a Link Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster you control be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So it just provides a little bit of protection there. So that's what he sends to graveyard with Kit. Then continue out the replay. So Kit he's going to go and activate Karis effect, banish 3 from the graveyard to bring out a Link 3. It's going to make a Smorgasbord of Sovereignty. This card's still legal in the LCG. We know it just got banned yesterday. He's going to go and link off the Blossom and the Karis for a Union Carrier, I believe. Yeah, so Union Carrier, another card that the LCG has access to. Blossom effect to draw and to put 1 card on the bottom of the deck. Union Carrier effect now to go ahead and equip the Mist Valley Thunderbird. So we know our opponent here is going to probably go into like the Infinite Negate loop that used to be available to us in the TCG. Opponent's going to activate Nerval here, banish 3, make Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep and Nerval is going to link him off for a tri-brigade Rugal or tri-brigade Silver. And our opponent will now go to the end phase, and in the end phase activate the Smorgasbord for more. It's going to go ahead and bring out the Apex Avian. And so now our opponent has access to his Infinite Negate loop here, right? Anytime I activate a card or an effect, he's going to immediately use Apex Avian's effect to bounce the Thunderbird back to hand. Thunderbird's effect will trigger in hand, launch to special summon itself, thus creating the Infinite Negate loop here. So going second, I didn't open up, that good. I have a Kaiju kit, 2, 3 visits, and a Pot of Prosperity. So let's see what I draw for the 6th card. And unfortunately, it's another 3 visits. Not that good here. However, I do have the Kaiju, so we can go ahead and get rid of our opponent's negate here. Now, I wasn't expecting this here, but our opponent goes and activates Silver's effect. And I was expecting to maybe summon out Nerval from hand, but he brings out the Wind Barrier statue lock. So now I can't special summon any monsters except for wind monsters. So I'm forced to activate Prosperity right now to see if I can draw an out to it. So right off the top, we reveal a Lufang, a Fractal, a Sun Mal, another Kaiju, which won't help us out, Twin Twister, and the Ambitious Caude. So we're just going to activate the. We're going to go ahead and add the Sun Mal because it probably is the best card right now. Activate 3 visits. Our opponent has no negates now, so we just got to worry about breaking his board. Also, our opponent has no cards in hand, so there's no hand traps we got to worry about. Normal summon Sun Mal, 3 visits effect. It's going to add the Zhang. I may have misplayed here, but this was I could have easily added the Ingenious Zukong and then got the special effect to special summon. But regardless, add Zhang, and then I use Sun Mal's effect to send 3 visits to the graveyard to add Lufang. 3 visits triggers in the graveyard allow me to bring out Zhang. I'm going to activate Zhang effect here. If you don't know what his second effect does, is that if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can activate this effect. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters per turn. So I do that, so, one is to get the 2 attacks, but second to trigger Sun Mal, which allows me to bounce the Kaiju. Now, I could have easily bounced the Windbearer statue, but I chose to bounce the Kaiju and then, tribute it off. At this point, my opponent scoops. Really has nothing there too. So, the reason he scoops is because Zhang is going to have 2 attacks. Lu Feng can also pop a card. That would put my opponent at just 3 monsters on the field. So that would be 4 attacks. Also, with no cards in hand, he would just have to rely on top decking. And I still could have linked off for the double Dragon Lords and then added a Sun Mal to hand, and I still have the Ancient Visits there for my next turn. Or I could have also activated the 3 visits, linked off for Sun Mal using Zhang and Sun Mu. I'm sorry. I could have linked off for a double Dragon Lords using Zhang and Sun Mal. And I would have been able to add the Zukong, which would have been a special summon. Leaving me with 1 bounce, 1 pop, and a spell and trap negate. So, if my opponent had a top deck, that would have been really hard for him to do anything with it. So I think that's why he surrendered. Unfortunately, we didn't have OTK looks. I did activate Pot of Prosperity. But regardless, though, I think for the most part I had that win. But now let's get into that deck profile real quick. Let's back up a little bit here. So yeah, I've made some changes here because now that I've made Platinum with Ancient Warriors, we're seeing a very different lineup. When you're first trying to rank up, you see a variety of decks. You see some meta decks. You see some people just having fun. So yeah, once I hit Platinum, I realized how much Eldritch there was. There's Platinum is just crammed with Eldritch. Eldritch is everywhere. Skill drain's at 3. And it's going to be like that in the TCG, I imagine, too. So I had to remove some cards and play slightly differently. I also had to generate some other different cards. And, and Eldritch isn't the only issue out there. There's also a Virtual World, which still makes calamities. So yeah, there's some problematic cards in there that I think should be probably should be banned, but whatever. Anyways, guys, for the deck, I'm running 2 copies of Nerval, 3 copies of Max C. This card is really good, especially if you're going second, because if you're playing a combo heavy deck and your opponent's going to special summon a lot of monsters, you can draw a lot of cards. Or if you're playing a combo heavy deck, your opponent might just think twice about special summoning too many monsters because he doesn't want you to draw too many cards. So it kind of helps with the OTK. Regardless, though, still a really good card. Keep in mind, the Call by the Grave is at 2, so this card doesn't always go through. Running 2 copies of Karis, the 1 copy of Kit, 3 copies of Sun Mal. It's just a really good card. The 1 copy of Ingenious because it's a free special summon. 3 copies of Fractal, another good starter. Also allows you to get into the Ancient Warrior engine. 3 copies of Log Wan Yun because he's a free special summon. The 1 copy of Zhang, the 3 copies of Godarla. So I chose to go with Godarla because I knew tri-brigade Lureless was really big in this format, and honestly it's helped out quite a bit because of the Wind Barrier statue lock. So if you're going to play Kaijus, I recommend you, getting this card too. It's also just a rare, so it's easy to generate. Playing 2 copies of the Lu Fang, super good card. I probably would be playing 3 copies, but I didn't have enough to generate the 3rd copy. So for now, we're just playing the 2 copies. The one Feather Duster, because like I said, there's a bunch of back row heavy decks. We're seeing Skill Drain, we're seeing the Rivalry of Warlords, things like that. You know, a lot of floodgates out there, so you gotta have Feather Duster going second. And I'm trying out Pot of Prosperity here. And honestly, I really like this card. Whenever you're able to banish 6 cards and then reveal 6 cards, you can always reveal something that you really need. Versus like Pot of Extravagance, which might banish some cards you might need. Pot of Prosperity, it's been really good. Unfortunately though, it prevents you from OTKing because of the fact that your opponent only takes half damage. Other than that, I still like this card. I think it's a really good card for now. 3 copies of Tinky. That's one of the cool things about playing on Master Duel. Right, the TCG Tinky was limited to just one, which really hurt Ancient Warriors. Like, you know, Ancient Warriors has no way of like searching their starters. So having Tinky here at 3 has made this deck a lot more better. It's also a card that you can just send to the graveyard with somehow to search something. So yeah, really good card. The only spell I've ever played for Ancient Warriors, 3 visits, the best spell for Ancient Warriors in my opinion. 3 copies of Chalice because it helps break boards. Also, it helps you OTK whenever you're like you need to push for more attack. You can just target one of your own monsters, and it gains 400 attack. 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. 1 copy of Red Reboot. You know, just for back row. Right, Eldritch is huge. Red Reboot kind of stops Eldritch. It allows you to OTK. Cosmic Cyclone. I was playing Twin Twisters before, but like I said, I'd rather just banish the Eldritch traps than send them to the graveyard because otherwise they're just gonna get the graveyard effects later on. But that's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, I don't have a full extra deck. I just kind of threw 5 random cards that I could banish off Pot of Prosperity. So for the most part, the cards that I am playing are like 3 Double Dragon Lords, the 2 Pharyngean Blossoms, the 2 Omens, and then the 1 Rugal. And then everything else is just fill in space for Pot of Prosperity. However, though, once I start generating more, or once I have the ability to generate more cards, I might get like Apollosa, IP Masquerena, you know, just something like that, just in case I'm forced to go first. However, though, if you haven't played Master Duel, one thing you should know is that Master Duel is just the best out of one game, so you don't really have any side deck options at all. So for the most part, if you go second, you go second. If you go first, you go first. You're not gonna be able to side in after that because it's just the best out of one. So there are some cards where I'm not like too, you know, hurried to get. This is for most, I'm just trying to go second if I win the coin toss, and if I lose, just hoping I go second anyways. But anyways, guys, this has been it for my deck pro. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope you guys have enjoyed the replay as well. Ancient Warriors can still OTK, can still break boards. Still a very good deck. Like I said, the only thing it struggles with is against, it's really just Eldritch. That's the deck that I struggle with the most. The other day I played Virtual World. Guy made Calamities on me. I kaiju'd it off on my turn. I didn't have to worry about it. I was still able to activate card effects in my hand. So I had like Lu Fang and Zhang Day and Sun Mao in my hand, you know, already. So I was able to like break my opponent's board that way. Other than that though, like I don't really see any other decks that I really struggle with other than like, oh yeah, like I said, True Draco that also plays Skill Drain. But yeah, other than that, the deck's still fun to play with. For the most part, it's kind of easy to make because we're playing a lot of like normal and rare cards. We only have 2 ultra rares in the main deck, but Maxi is kind of like a card that, you know, is very versatile. You can play multiple decks. So in reality, we're just making the Lu Fang here. For the extra deck, you know, we have 2 sets of ultra rares, the Omen and the Double Dragon Lords. Other than that, those decks pretty easy to make, super fun to play with. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button down below if you like what you saw today. And if you haven't, guys, please just hit that subscribe button. It's gonna motivate me to make more content. It's also a good way just to support the channel, support myself as a YouTube content creator. And anyways, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.